Hello, welcome to episode 126 of Freshly Grounded. This is the second time I'm recording the intro because the first time I recorded it, the camera battery got ripped out by my foot, by my shoe. It's long to explain, but I'm re-recording it. This episode is with Abdul Hakim, episode 126 with Abdul Hakim from Sunnah Remedies, a frequent guest on the podcast, also someone that we love hearing from. He firstly kind of discussed his Hajj with us, but the episode very quickly became about diet and nutrition, something I was very intrigued to ask him about, as I've recently started getting some aches and pains being the 25-year-old old man that I am. And I realized that maybe I need to change one or two things in my diet because I'm not very disciplined. So this episode is great for anyone else who isn't greatly disciplined in their diet. He speaks about the importance of eating a very, good diet and vegetarian foods and fish. So anyway, the episode basically became Abdul Hakim helping me with my weekly shopping list. And then after we shot the episode, because it was a few days ago, I ended up doing my shopping, and I think I did a fully pescatarian food shop that week. So I got pretty much only veg items and fish, and I've been making veg dinner at home. I made spinach and potato curry last night. And so I'm like I said in the first version of this intro that got ripped out by my battery, I'm definitely not a vegetarian. I'm still eating chicken and meat, but the foods that I'm cooking in the house hopefully will be veg related or fish. Anyway, I'm sure you guys want to hear from Abdul Hakim. He gave a very, very good discussion or some great tips about nutrition, diet, the stuff we know and love him for. Also, guys, if you love the podcast, you want to support the podcast and you want to in some way contribute to it, we would love for you to become a patron or become a patron on Patreon. And a patron is someone who pays around £5 a month, so about the same price as a coffee and a cake per month. And you get every episode early. As long as we film it and record it early, you are able to benefit of some small benefits from Freshly Grounded, such as discounted merch or maybe some free items or discounted tickets or early release to things. We're trying our best to improve the quality of service of our Patreon, but more than anything, you'll be able to support Freshly Grounded and help us grow, because as you guys know, it is growing very fast, and we want to get the best guests and as frequent as possible, and being a patron really helps to support us to be able to get the best guests, to be able to continue doing what we're doing, create great episodes, maybe create more episodes, and so every patron helps. So to check us out on Patreon, it's Patreon, that's patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. And with that being said, this has probably been my most newsreader style intro ever. Please welcome on to the desk Freshly Grounded episode 126 with Abdul Hakim from Sunnah Remedies.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
No, after that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Sunnah Remedies.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillah.
You're looking fresh, bro.
Jazakallah khair, habibi.
As I mentioned to you on Saturday, I think that hairstyle looks very good on you, Allah Mubarak.
Yeah, compared to the long hair, yeah.
No, I like the long hair, and then when you cut it the first time, I didn't love it. When you cut it halfway between long and short. This, Allah Mubarak, you're looking fresh.
Barakallah feek, habibi. You know what, Haqi, you're not the only one, but I remember when you said to me, you know what, you're the only one that can rock. I remember when you said to me, you're the only one that can rock long hair or something like that. Yeah, because not a lot of people can rock it, but alhamdulillah, it's nice. Akhi, hair it's important, bro.
Hair is a ni'mah.
It's a ni'mah, akhi. Obviously,
you only realise when you start losing it.
Yeah, may Allah protect us.
Akhi, but I'm already gone, akhi, man. I need to make a different dua to Allah, akhi, man.
Inshallah.
Like the Sahabi who asked Allah for hair.
No.
I'm on them vibes now.
Alhamdulillah. You can also go to Turkey now.
I know.
Get a hair transplant. One of my friends done it.
Yeah, okay, man.
Yeah, but
I remember when I found out that was permissible.
Were you happy? Yeah.
I heard some delete on that. I was a bit happy. Yeah, alhamdulillah, but we haven't managed to go there just yet.
Alhamdulillah.
Bro, Jazakallah khair for coming back, man. It's been a very long time. The people always love having Sunnah Remedies on the podcast.
Alhamdulillah.
The last time you were here, we were in the old studio, so thank you for coming here. How do you find the new spot?
It's nice. It's cool, man. I like this kind of the organization, mashallah. Not to say that the other one wasn't organized, but I feel like it's more spacious as well, more organized. It's nice. It's a nice place, bro. It's good. I like the window as well. The other one didn't really have a window, did it?
Yeah, the other one didn't have windows, didn't we have fresh air coming in, and like you said, it was like a bit of a temporary space, so it was always a mess.
Yeah.
It was like, as long as what's on the camera is clean, is calm. Whereas this, alhamdulillah, like everything. To be fair, Nate and I did have a really big clean like the other day. So had you seen this a few days ago, maybe you wouldn't have been saying this. But alhamdulillah, we gave it clean. We're gonna try and keep it this way, inshallah.
It's nice. I like it.
Man. How's things with you? What's been? How you been doing?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, since the last time, alhamdulillah, I went to Hajj. Alhamdulillah, with my wife. Which was an amazing experience within itself. I saw a few brothers, I think I saw Tim Humble. Mashallah, he went as well.
Yeah.
I saw.
Did you get to spend time with Ustad Tim?
No, subhanAllah, I haven't met him. I haven't met him. But I think I've attended one of his lectures a while back when I used to work in Muntada. And then he after the Salah he delivered a talk about, I think it was black magic. I think so. So alhamdulillah, that's the first kind of lecture.
A Ruqya workshop in Muntada once, so maybe.
I don't think I was there, but I remember one time after the Salah, he did deliver a lecture on black magic and gym possession. Obviously, that's his field, mashallah.
Well, December, inshallah, when he's back, he tends to come around twice a year. So when he's back, I'm gonna try and get him to come down to the clinic and get his hijab, or at least, at the very least, maybe do like a maybe we can do an episode where you're here as well. You're co-hosting with me on the episode or something. We'll figure something out. But it'll be lovely for you to meet him, inshallah.
That'd be nice. It'll be a pleasure, mashallah. So yeah, I saw him in Hajj. He was actually on the same flight. It was crazy, actually, because with Hajj, every kind of pilgrimage that you take has its difficulties, or maybe has its tests. And believe it or not, when we left, British Airways or Heathrow decided to strike. I'm not sure if you kind of remember, and there was a lot of articles in the newspaper, and they were trying to catch up with the union, and it was a last minute thing where the strikes were going ahead, and instead of going to Heathrow, we didn't know whether we were gonna go Hajj. Me and the missus were kind of worried, and obviously in that moment you really want to go to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to perform this great act of worship. We know the many virtues, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts your Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there is no reward except for the reward of paradise, al-Hajj al-Mabrur, an accepted Hajj. So obviously we're nervous. We're thinking, what's going to happen? Are we going to get a phone call from the agency that's organising it and that we went with? Al-Qadi Tours, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them, plugging it in. And obviously they kept us they kept us up to date. And then obviously Saudi Airlines decided to fly from Manchester. So actually we had to pack our things, all of us, like last minute kind of thing. And then booked the train last minute, and then obviously head off to Manchester.
No way.
Yeah, we had to go to Manchester, subhanallah. But it was, I think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see, maybe, or test your, I don't want to say test your sincerity, or maybe Allah alam, I think every Hajj has its test, I think. But alhamdulillah, it went well. We arrived in Jeddah. We performed, obviously we done Hajj Tamattu'. So with Tamattu', there's the three types of Hajjs anyway. So with Hajj Tamattu', we done our Umrah first, came out of our Ihram, the white cloth that we done in Umrah when we went together. Remember that? Ramadan. I'm sure you missed that, subhanallah. And after a few days, obviously the pilgrimage, the days of Hajj began. It's amazing, akhi. I mean, I'd advise every Muslim. I'm sure, it is. Unfortunately, we can save a lot of money for like small things, but like I promise you, brothers and sisters out there who are listening, and it was amazing. A lot of young brothers and young sisters obviously the sisters who came with their husbands, some with their fathers. Ammu Hazim, he's an Egyptian uncle, mashallah, beautiful uncle. He came with his daughter. It was amazing in the sense that there was a lot of shabab, and I feel that it's so important that Hajj is done at a young age. We have this perception maybe in the Asian culture, and also in the Moroccan culture, North African culture, where you have this old school thinking of, oh, you know what, leave Hajj until you're old. Don't go Hajj now. Why are you going to go Hajj? You're still young. And it's that thing of, you know what, if I go Hajj now, subhanAllah, shaitan comes to you and says to you, you know what, shaitan might be like, you know, if I go Hajj now, I need to stop this bad thing, and that I can't do Hajj and come back to back home and, you know, persistently do, you know, the ill habits that I have. So it's like I don't know, we're afraid to commit. And, you know, well, you know, we should be able to commit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or try our best to commit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's an amazing experience, akhi. It's very, very, you know, it's spiritually enriching. And also, akhi, you learn a lot about yourself, and you kind of evaluate your life and where you're heading and what really matters in life. It's deep.
Yeah, something that I kind of found amazing was when we were a couple of years back speaking to Sheikh Wasim about Hajj, and he was saying that something amazing is that, you know, there's certain purchases that are not impermissible. Like, for example, you want to upgrade your car, you know, or you want to buy a car and it might cost you £10,000, but you want to do it. However, those purchases become questionable when you've not done your first Hajj, because your first Hajj is compulsory upon you, isn't it?
That's correct.
And so if he was saying that, I'm not saying don't buy a car. There might be a situation where you need to buy a car, you know, before Hajj, like you don't have a car,
and you need a car. You need a car,
or your current car is breaking down, and you need a proper car, and you need to spend a good amount of money. You spend 10 racks on a car. He's not talking about those situations.
And I believe that having a car, especially if you have kids or your wife, I believe, me personally, that it's a necessity, especially in London. It's one of those things where you need a car.
Of course. And then he said, so he wasn't talking about that, but he said, let's say you already have a car and it does you fine, it's great, there's nothing wrong with it, but you just want to upgrade to like the latest Beamer, for example, and you want to spend like £15,000. So you've been saving all your money, but you haven't done your first Hajj, and the necessity of having a car is fulfilled, but you just want to do it because you just want to upgrade, you want a nicer car. He didn't say it's impermissible, but he said that's when it becomes a bit questionable, because now you're saying you haven't even done your first Hajj, which is compulsory, and you got the money for the Hajj, and you're going to now spend it on a whip where you already have one. And that put things into perspective for me, man. Because he said it's not, if you've done your first Hajj and you want to do things like that, khalas is fine, because your second Hajj and your third Hajj, they're not compulsory upon you. But when you've not done your first one and you have the money to do your first one, and there's not like a dire need to spend that money on something now, then it becomes a bit questionable. That changed my perception on things a lot, man.
Yeah, and subhanAllah, you will benefit from the Hajj. You know, a lot of us, obviously, we try to run away from, and that's including us, we, as humans, we try to run away from responsibility and obligations. And you know what it is? I personally believe that, especially when it comes to great acts of worship, ultimately, yes, we want to please Allah. But at the same time, inshallah, with the right intentions, you know, I think it was Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he said a famous saying, I think it was attributed to him, where he said, "Ar-rukabu kathir wal-hujjaju qalil," that the riders are a lot. Yeah, as in the people going to Hajj are so many, but the actual Hajjs that are accepted are a few.
Wow.
Yeah, because obviously you have to understand, with Hajj, your wealth has to be halal. Your intentions have to be sincerely to Allah. You're not going to Hajj to say, you know what, I've done a Hajj, or back home where you to say, you know, call me Hajji. You have to go with that, and it's hard, sincerity. We know sincerity, to achieve sincerity. The scholars of the past, they struggled with the ikhlas, let alone us, you know, where we live in a day and age, where it's all about notoriety or like fame, or you know, of the, you know, something similar, and Hajj, Hajj is, there's so many lessons in Hajj, bro. It's like Hajj is built on the fundamental principles of Tawheed, of the oneness of Allah, and submitting yourself to the oneness of Allah. And obviously you remember, it's crazy, because as Muslims we know that Ibrahim alayhi salam, the founding father of monotheism, or they say, in a sense that he, subhanAllah, he was the Khalil of Allah, and because of him we remember certain rituals during Hajj. So you have the stoning of the devil is symbolic. Yeah, you're not actually stoning the devil. And in that, subhanAllah, you can get away from that. Shaitan will come to you in life and try to distract you and try to take you away from fulfilling the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and fulfilling the rights of the people that you're responsible over. And you have to kind of just ignore him. You have to, and that throwing the stocks of the stones away is that symbolic kind of is that symbolic act where in life you will have moments where Shaitan will come to you and he will whisper you and try to turn you away from doing the things that are pleasing to Allah. But you have to kind of, that symbolic act of throwing the stone is kind of like chasing him away. And subhanAllah, the running of Safa and Marwa, that's part of Umrah as well as Hajj. The running of Safa and Marwa, Hajar alayhi salam, where she was in the middle of the desert. Imagine Ibrahim alayhi salam again. He left her in the middle of nowhere. What we know Mecca to be today wasn't what Mecca was when Ibrahim alayhi salam took Hajar. It was barren land. It was just desert. Imagine that, akhi. Can you imagine that? And from the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam, look at this. He, like, just his dua. Look how it's come about. And he would never ever think. Look how it is now. From a barren land, akhi, nothing. No, they didn't know that there was water before Zamzam. Akhi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to take his wife, and he just said, "Yeah, I'm gonna take her." Imagine, akhi, imagine like you have your first child, akhi, and you're taking him in the middle of the desert with his mom, with your wife, and you're leaving her there, and she's pregnant. Well, at the time she wasn't pregnant. Afwan, she wasn't pregnant. Enough mixed up with the story of Isa alayhi salam. She wasn't pregnant, and the baby is young.
Yeah, you have to have a lot of yaqeen
and iman, akhi. So imagine, and he's turning away, and she's saying to him, like, "Are you leaving us in the middle of the desert? Like, are you leaving us in the middle of the desert by ourselves?" And then obviously, mashallah, because the righteous wife that she is, she says, "Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command you with this?" And he said, "Khalas." She didn't. As soon as he said yes, she didn't need to say anything more. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously the baby was crying because obviously she had no milk because there was no water. And then she was running from Safa and Marwa, looking. A woman, akhi, that imagine now we subhanallah, follow the rituals of Hajar alayhi salam, who's a woman. And we have to run from Safa and Marwa. And obviously not run, there's a bit, the green bit where obviously she ran. So we run from that area. And then, subhanAllah, it's amazing. There's so many lessons. And, the day of Arafah, that's another emotional day, subhanAllah. That kind of resembles the day of judgment. And it's deep, akhi. It's a pilgrimage like no other. Like imagine Malcolm X, rahimahullah, when he came back from Hajj. Akhi, what he had to say about Hajj, it was like, I saw brothers who were white, whose hair was blonder than blonde, and eyes were bluer than blue, and skin was whiter than white, and we shared the same, the same food and the same place where we slept. It's amazing. There's so many lessons, akhi. With Hajj, there's so much. It's like it's not even like one lesson, akhi. Just so many lessons that you benefit and you learn about yourself.
It's always so inspiring hearing about people's stories of Hajj. And this year it seemed like all the brothers was there. Innit? This year it seemed like all the brothers were there. So
mashallah, Musa Adnan was there, Allahum Barak, and Sheikh Jamal was there.
Yeah, Ustad Yahya was there. Some of the brothers that I know.
Abdul Aziz, Sheikh Abdul Aziz was there.
Was he?
Yeah, he was there, mashallah.
Yeah, it's very inspiring when you hear it and you get you want to be a part of that when you see it and you see other people experience it. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about diet and
let's crack
dietary
on.
stuff. Because I know that when Sunnah Remedies is on the podcast, when Abdul Hakim is on the podcast, our listeners love hearing about the wealth of knowledge you have with regards to the human body and the diet and how it affects your physical state, your mental state, your spiritual state, and you're always learning as well yourself.
Yep.
Yesterday you were in Leicester.
Yeah.
What is it that you were doing in Leicester?
Alhamdulillah, obviously we're students and with ICAT. An organization and a center that's changing the way we look at cupping, dry cupping, wet cupping, also incorporating different therapies to help high performing athletes. And alhamdulillah, we were there yesterday on a course around surrounding dry cupping and how it helps with inflammation, how it helps with functional movements or limited movement in a muscle, and how it can help increase your movements, your span of movement. It was good. Me and my wife, alhamdulillah, we went.
how important is it for you to constantly try and increase your knowledge, being someone who performs hijama at a really high level? You perform it for athletes and celebrities as well as, you know, regular people like myself.
Yeah.
Why is it important for you to still seek knowledge?
Akhi, in life, if you've reached a stage where you feel that you've mastered something, or you know everything there is to know about that topic, then in reality, akhi, you haven't really attained anything. And we know the famous story of Musa alayhi salam, bringing it back about knowledge, yeah, generally, because obviously knowledge is very, very important, because we're talking about why do many people in their domain or in their speciality feel that they always need to kind of excel or always learn knowledge. And it's those people that become eventually masters, or those people that eventually know what they're talking about and reach a high level of their profession. Because Musa alayhi salam at the time, he didn't feel that there was anyone more knowledgeable than him until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him to Al-Khidr. So there will always be someone who is more knowledgeable than you. No matter how kind of knowledgeable you think you are, there's always someone that is more knowledgeable. And obviously knowledge is something that is very, very important and very, very enlightening. And I always feel, akhi, me personally, yeah, alhamdulillah, I've been doing hijama for many, many years. And yes, we do it on high-performing athletes. But I always feel that I always need to update my knowledge. I always feel like, you know, maybe we're dealing with the human body. The human body is something that is so complex. And you're always kind of gonna find certain things that work more than others, and certain things that speed up the recovery more than others. So it's always kind of refreshing, and you're always renewing your knowledge. So as we know, there's not much scientific research, and alhamdulillah, although things are changing, so we have to rely on our own experiences and our own kind of research, you know, to say the least, yani. And you're always learning, akhi. And I always advise brothers and sisters in whatever field they are to always, akhi, continuously learn. And we know the importance of learning in our deen. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that طلب علم فرض عين على كل مسلم ومسلمة, that knowledge or seeking knowledge is a compulsion upon every, or an individual obligation upon every man and woman. And seeking knowledge, akhi, when you seek knowledge, you're going to benefit other people. You're not just benefiting yourself. And yes, we know that the best knowledge is the knowledge of the hereafter and about the deen, and because obviously that is eternal. So obviously you have secular knowledge and you have religious knowledge. And we know that secular knowledge, alhamdulillah, and also, akhi, what you're learning, hijama, is something as part of the deen. And you're kind of bringing as well this kind of sports therapy, kind of, you're kind of incorporating it and kind of integrating it with sports therapy. So subhanAllah, now, it's a form of da'wah. So say, for example, yesterday we were on a course and we had a chiropractor who, he wasn't Muslim. So we all know what chiropractors do, yeah? They like to neck adjustments, back adjustments, you know, the ones that you see on YouTube that like to crack necks, crack backs, spine. And he said that obviously people asked him, like, well, you know, how come you're here? Like, you know, you're on a like dry cupping course. Like, what brought you here? He said, like, I had a lot of people coming into me with hijama marks. So I wanted to know, you know, why are these people coming in with these marks? So subhanAllah, he signed up to the course, and he obviously a doctor in chiropractor and not a medical doctor. And he came in, and subhanAllah, just by him coming in, he was exposed to a sunnah per se of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that was a form of da'wah. And obviously he's thinking that, look, these people, they're learning about another alternative therapy. So there's so many benefits, akhi. There's so many benefits. We're always seeking knowledge. Always, akhi. There should never be a time in your life where, and that's arrogant. I personally find that as quite arrogant for you to feel that you know everything about a particular topic. And subhanAllah, we live in a day and age, akhi, where some people are like that. They're so pompous and arrogant, akhi, where they think that they know it all. There's some things, akhi, that you don't know, you know.
I think it also, when you're studying a topic, it speaks for you that you are willing to learn, that you have an open mind to it, and that's what improves you, right? Once you have that, maybe that arrogance of saying, look, I'm the best at what I do, it closes off that chapter of ever being able to learn more. We had
to grow.
Yeah, to grow. We had a guy on recently called Dr. Rizwan Mahmoud, who's a dentist.
Oh yeah.
If you give me a second.
Yeah. I heard that podcast.
Okay, did you?
Yeah, it was deep. And mashallah, how he is, his work ethic, mashallah. I listened to that podcast.
Yeah, what's amazing about him is he So he studied dentistry, and then after dentistry, after his dentistry degree, he did a medicine degree,
Amazing.
and now he's done many courses after that. And as we speak, he's just starting his new dentistry course.
MashaAllah.
And bro, this guy has done face surgeries. You know, without getting graphic, he told me some of the stuff that he's done is insane, with things that you would never hear of that he's had to do on people's faces. So he's very advanced. On top of that, with teeth, he's even more advanced, because the dentistry is what he loves and what he really kind of practices every day. Yet he's back in school now. While running, he's got 3 practices along Berwick, 2 in central London, and the opening one in Manchester. And he's still studying. So that's very inspiring, and it's also very trusting to know that you're in the hands of someone who is always trying to improve. You know.
So imagine he stopped where he first finished. Do you think he would be able to achieve what he's achieved now?
It's very true, and a lot of dentists probably do. They probably finish their degree, their 4 years or 5 years in uni, and then that's it. They go into the field. Not to say that that's bad, because you learn on the job as well. But it's someone who is trying to achieve excellence when he's doing that.
That's
you know what I mean?
I want, me personally, bro, I want to be like that. I want to be that person that knows eventually, inshallah, like, because obviously I love what I do. Like, if
you can tell that.
Do you understand? If you love what you do, akhi, you want to be, I'm sure as well the same thing with you. If you love what you do, you want to know everything about that domain.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, anything there is to know about, say for example with me, anything there is to know about the human anatomy, anything there is to know about hijama and how it helps, or blood cupping or wet cupping, or bloodletting or wet cupping as people know it, I want to know about it. Anything that that's around, like, say for example, soft tissue work, I want to know about, like, in terms of using the tool, the Graston tool. Likewise, I'm sure yourself, like, okay, what does it take, Allahumma barik, you know, to become a successful podcast, or I want to become even more successful. So you want to know where, you want to know, you want to be a master of your field. You know, you want to know what you're talking about. You don't want to be a person that, say for example, a patient comes in and the patient has been suffering from years from, it could be sciatica, it could be an IT band on the side of his leg, and you don't even know where the IT band is, or you don't know, you're just going to lie to him, or you're just going to be fraffing on. And you're not going to know what you're talking about. And it's responsibility, especially if you take up that responsibility of trying to care for people, know that you're responsible also in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know. So we generally tend to kind of take on things just for, say for example, and I see it, not just in hijab, in many things. There's a mistake that we have to kind of rectify, or there's something that we have to really, really think about. Don't do something because it's going to earn you a quick buck. Don't be that person that, oh, you know what, because I see someone jumping on this and that, and they're making good money, or you supposedly think they're making good money, I'm gonna jump on that. That's not the case. Don't do something in life because of money, because I'll be honest with you, it's not gonna be long term. And there's gonna come a time, because if you don't enjoy something, how many people wake up and hate going to work? Why? Because they don't enjoy it. Don't be that individual. Don't be that person that you do something just for the love of money, because eventually people are going to start noticing that this guy's only doing it for money. He don't really enjoy it. He's just doing it just to earn money. Yeah. And you're going to see that in your work. And you don't want to be that person.
Like Ajmal said when he was on the podcast, knowing that
How was Ajmal?
Yeah, he's very well.
I haven't seen that brother for a long time. For a couple, I think maybe at least a year, bro.
Nah.
I think a year.
He said on the podcast, he said he takes contentment in knowing that his rizq is written for him. So it will come, whatever's written for him will come anyway. So you might as well do what you enjoy, like you said. Bro, talking about, I mentioned earlier that I wanted to speak about diet. I know you're someone who promotes apple cider vinegar a lot.
Yeah. Or
once or twice I've seen it in your posts.
Yeah.
And I've only recently seen, like, I'm late to the party. I've recently heard about, like, the numerous benefits of it, especially if somebody is high blood pressure. It's good for them to take apple cider. Do you know much about the benefits of it and why it's good?
First and foremost, it is one of the foods that the Prophet ﷺ also recommended.
Okay.
And there is reports that he would have it with barley bread. So he would have barley bread, and he would have olive oil and cider and vinegar. Yeah. And only now when you go to, like, proper posh restaurants that you see, like bourgeoisie restaurants, like posh ones, that they offer you bread. And subhanAllah, now they're catching on. Everyone's catching on to the sunnah now, Before it was intermittent fasting. Like everyone was like, I remember growing up. Sorry to just slightly kind of divert.
No,
I remember growing up. Why? Because it's a sunnah, and now people are, because the Prophet ﷺ, he speaks about vinegar quite clearly in the sunnah, you know. And like I remember growing up like fasting, like people would ask, "Are you fasting? Oh my God, how can you do that? That's so unhealthy. That's not good for the body. No, you're gonna kill yourself, or you know what? You're not giving yourself the correct nutrients. You know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You should be having breakfast." But now there's this huge influx of people on YouTube and like vloggers and YouTubers talking about the benefits of intermittent fasting and how it helps to increase your growth hormone and how it helps to increase your testosterone levels. We're talking about intermittent fasting, yeah, and how it also it helps to burn fat. But hold on a minute, fasting was part of not just Islam but the previous religions before us. We know in Christianity, Isa alayhi salam, Jesus peace be upon him, he used to fast. Musa likewise. This is nothing new. So in our religion, the Prophet ﷺ would also encourage us to fast, not obviously for the purpose of health, but you could say that was the byproduct of fasting, and it was something that was already part of our religion in that essence. In terms of apple cider vinegar, it is very beneficial. It helps with the gut bacteria, to improve your gut bacteria. It helps with subhanallah, fatigue. It's like an energy drink, like a tonic. SubhanAllah, there's so many benefits. It helps. They say it helps with burning fat.
How should a person consume it?
Generally speaking, I've seen different types of ways that people do consume it. So the first example I told you with bread. So for example, you have a barley bread, or you have the sour. Me personally, I prefer barley bread or sourdough bread, fermented bread, only because a lot of people are they are gluten intolerant. And I find gluten, obviously we know that there's been, we have to understand the food that we have now is not how it was presented to us, to our forefathers. Like the food that we have now is very, very much industrialized.
Like dairy, right?
Like dairy as well.
You're really against dairy, aren't you?
I'm not against dairy, but I'm against how dairy is produced.
So nowadays is dairy?
Yeah, nowadays we know it as dairy, yeah.
What we know as dairy now?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't drink milk?
I wouldn't, but I would drink, say for example, obviously I'm lactose intolerant. So if there was grass-fed milk, that is purely organic, I would have it. But because I'm lactose intolerant, I'm unable to.
I see.
You understand? But it's not, I don't believe in, say for example, taking away certain nutrients away from our diet. I don't believe in, I'm not anti-dairy. I'm anti how dairy is produced. Do you understand? I'm not anti-meat.
Yeah.
I'm anti how meat is produced. And even so, it depends on the consumption as well. How often do you eat meat? You shouldn't be eating meat quite often anyway. Like if you are going to eat meat, is it grass-fed? Is it organic? These things have to come into play. It's not like even it's not about taking away certain food categories away from your diet. I don't really believe that's the way forward. It's about the quality of the food. Is the food of good quality? Has the food been kind of messed up? The wheat, is it pure? Is it organic? Is it actually wheat, or is it been crossbred? Now we have to understand that everything is industrialized. Everything, obviously, to meet the demand, everything is we have to speed things up to produce these products in order to fulfill the demand of people. So the quality that you're getting is not the best of quality. Full of, Allah alam, if it's full of chemicals, if the process, like now, chickens, how long does it take for a chicken to grow, like to be fully ready to be slaughtered? That process is sped up. Likewise, the meat, full of hormones. Do you know what you're eating? That's why a lot of people that have issues, a lot of people have allergies, a lot of people have intolerances, a lot of people have skin conditions. Like, at least in Morocco back in the days, there was no such thing as this illness and that illness. We knew people to be very, very healthy, and yet they would still consume, and I say it again, they would still consume olive oil, they would still consume healthy fats, they would still consume meat, they would still consume milk, they would still consume cheese, they would consume butter, but everything was very, very organic, grass-fed, how it should be. They would have eggs, but those eggs are free range. When I say free range, not like now how they say free range, but it's still like in a little like a little hut or whatever it may be, and it's free range. Actually, the bird is roaming, the chicken afwan is roaming around and eating from whatever's around, and it's literally, that's how the eggs are coming out.
Someone who struggles with the discipline of their diet, would you recommend that they for example become a vegetarian? Now I'm not talking about, because I know what your thoughts on this are already. I know that your thoughts are that that a person should generally be a flexitarian like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you should try your best to generally be have the lifestyle of a vegan / vegetarian, and then every now and again on a rare occasion implement like a meat, but not be having meat and chicken and stuff every day. I'm talking about, so let's use me as a case study. As you know, I've always had difficulty with disciplining myself in my diet. I've never had difficulty with sugar, really. And I've never really, I don't need sugar in my coffee. I don't need sugar in my tea. I can stay away from stuff like biscuits and chocolate, like for the most part. I don't mind having a little dabble every now and again, but I don't think I struggle with that. I think my struggle is not what I eat. I think my struggle is what I don't eat, in the sense that I struggle to get in my fruit and veg on a daily basis. So for someone like myself to increase my intake of fruit and veg, would you recommend that I, for example, become a vegetarian? The reason I ask that is because then in that way, if I've mentally told myself that I'm a vegetarian, I have to eat that. I'm definitely getting in veg every day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can do that, but what you can also do
is become more disciplined.
No.
You could just be a good flexitarian.
No. Look, like what you can do, I don't know if this might help you. Look, I'm going to explain to you. So for example, this is what helps me.
Sure.
Yeah, this is what helps me. So I'm going to give you a real life example, like myself, Yani.
Fine.
So for example, if I have food that is available, like good foods in my house. Remember, I think we spoke about this not in one of the podcasts. Like I'll buy, when I go shopping, I only buy fruits and veg. I don't buy any certain things where I'm going to snack on. So the only thing, so say for example, you'll find me in the house sometimes where I open up the fridge, I see fruits. Yeah. I open up the cupboards, I'll see fruits.
So you have to eat them.
So I'll eat them. Especially because, alhamdulillah, fruits are not bad. Fruits are very good. Don't go on with this notion that, fruits are bad and this is a huge movement of, it's got sugar in it. No, this is not correct. Yeah, alhamdulillah, you should be having fruits and veg. But most importantly, there's a huge kind of movement of scaring people away from actually consuming fruits. And so like I said, in the house, like say for example, you are in the office right now, like instead of I don't know, I obviously haven't seen any junk food, but instead of maybe have a basket where you put bananas, where you put apples, where you put grapes, maybe some avocados. So maybe if you have an avocado, maybe have some nice little vinegar. I find avocados very, very tasty when I mix. Say for example, when I have half an avocado, I put olive oil on it, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of pepper, salt, Himalayan salt. It tastes nice. Why? Because now you're starting to find healthy alternatives or substitutes. And
that sounds like a really good idea. So,
and your car as well. In your car, have fruits have fruits available to you.
I don't eat in my car generally, so I think I'm okay with that. I think that it makes a lot of sense what you're saying. When you do your shop, if you're not buying meat, you're already drastically reducing the amount that you're eating. And then when you're out and about, like you said, and let's say you go to a dinner and then they're serving, you eat whatever. You don't want to be like
no, you don't want to be rude
in the eyes of the people.
That's another thing about diet, bro. Some people, they're so strict. Look, as Muslims, we should be balanced. Yeah, like I'll give you an example. Some people, they're so obsessed about diet. And they're so kind of anal, about this. It's just like they have social anxiety when they go out. Why? Because it's like, I can't eat this. Or if I'm going out with my friends, I can't eat that. Look, if it's once in a while, like say for example, I was invited to a aqiqah, and a brother put down rice and he put down meat. And
that's crazy because I was also invited to aqiqah where I had rice and meat.
Yeah, so maybe it might have been the same one, But I'm not gonna say to the brother, I'm not gonna have. That's for me personally. I think that's a mental I wouldn't say maybe it's a mental disorder or maybe you're giving yourself kind of social anxiety where you can't even go out and enjoy a meal once in a while. Or it's not a regular thing, akhi. How often do you get invited to people's house, akhi? Or
But you're very well balanced, and Allahumma barik, and I think that you built up discipline, and I think that you maybe take for granted how disciplined you are. And discipline, bro, is one of the most difficult traits to build, right? And I can see in you that you have a lot of discipline. Obviously, I've known you for a few years now,
I
and
try
you
my
see
best, akhi.
and discipline is difficult, bro. So I think some people, like if I play, as they say, devil's advocate, I think some people, myself included, have to like almost go to the extremes to discipline yourself. Otherwise, it's like if I let myself go, then I'm going to let myself go too deep. So like if I have a dessert at this place now, I'm going to like mentally, I've broken down. I'm like, nah, I've had dessert now, and then I go into downward spiral. And where does that come from? That comes from a lack of discipline, because you can't discipline yourself and have a balance. Obviously, but you're speaking from an idealistic approach. If you're being ideal or in an idealistic approach, you would be able to balance yourself and say, all right, khalas, no problem. I'm at this place. We're going to eat this. And then when I go back home, I'm back to it. So that's like a good goal to achieve. However, going back to the shopping list thing, bro, I'm really inspired by that. I think that that's very, very important. Like, the idea of what is in your house, controlling what is in your house basically controls what goes in your stomach, right?
Of course.
So I'm going today to do the house shop, the weekly house shop. So tell me what you would recommend for me to purchase. I think that after this conversation, I'm going to refrain from buying meat, because that was on my list. Chicken and some mince.
Buy some fish, akhi.
So what we buy fish.
Fish is very good. If you can buy some like salmon, like wild salmon.
Yeah, we have salmon. We've already got some of that.
Salmon is very good. Like, you know what it is? Look, like I said, there's a place in I think it's Tooting. They have organic grass-fed meat. I had some a couple weeks back when I came back from Hajj. They also had organic grass-fed. I think it was chicken. And subhanallah, the chicken tastes different. The chicken tastes different, and I think it's in Tooting. So if you look. Like, say for example, there are certain moments in somebody's life, or maybe a year thing where he likes to, for a month cleanse himself. Bouazizi, he mashallah, he done something similar in Ramadan, and I was following something similar where you restrict, say for example, what the food that you're eating throughout the whole month. You're just kind of cleansing your body. So you might be, say for example, you want to go for a cleanse, or you want to clean out your body. You might pick a month where it's just fruit and veg. Yeah, where you're avoiding dairy, where you're avoiding this is for the normal folk, yeah, where you're avoiding dairy, you're avoiding red meat. You're just cleaning your body out, and then inshallah you can go back to consuming the good quality stuff. Yeah, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us from the earth, or what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed for us, halal, good, in a good product, yeah, organic, fresh. But in terms of, like, say for example, like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, give me a shopping list. Let's go for a shopping list. So So look, I'm not gonna get meat and chicken, and the reason I say that, bro, is because I will still definitely eat meat and chicken in my week. Because like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, my mum sent some food to my house. She sent a nice chicken curry. I'm gonna munch that, inshallah. But if that's gonna happen, things like that are gonna happen. I don't necessarily need to then start buying it myself, because I'm still gonna get. I feel like I'm not gonna miss it. Yeah. And when you're out, you eat meat. So that khalas, that's done. I'm not gonna. Obviously, this shopping list that we're going through now, it has to be approved by the missus, by the interior minister. Yeah, by the interior minister.
No, she's the interior minister. You're the exterior minister. Yeah, like my teacher says.
Of course. However, alhamdulillah, she's very pro like being healthy and stuff. So I think if I came to her and I said, look, we're not going to get meat and stuff, she'll be very pro that. So
that's good.
Right, so we won't get milk. We won't get we won't get meat. We don't get milk. Oh no. Sorry, we do get some milk. Okay. We do get a bit of milk but we rarely finish our milk. And the milk is very, very like, we buy a small one in case we got if people come around, they can have tea and stuff. So I'm not too worried about the milk.
Try to get, if you can. I'm sure you must find sorry to cut you off. Try to find milk which is like farm milk.
Okay.
But I'm sure you must have something here, or they must sell something here.
So right now we're talking Asda.
Okay, Asda. All right, cool.
So I'm saying we're doing a big shop in Asda, right?
I'm going according to you saying to me Asda, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because that's where I'm going today, bro.
All right, cool.
So this is realistic, and I think it will also benefit the people listening as to like into your mind of your kind of weekly shop. So, bread, we don't really get bread. At all. Yeah. Do you recommend that we should get any bread? Because there have been some times where I thought, I've got some peanut butter, but I haven't got bread, so I can't really. It would be alright to have it would be alright to have some toast and peanut butter.
Yeah, if you're someone who likes bread, or who kind of wants bread, maybe go for like sourdough bread.
Okay.
Like it's got to be good quality bread. I wouldn't buy toast. Me personally, sorry, I don't really consume toast.
Like the regular King's meal and stuff. You don't.
I used to actually like no, not King's meal. I used to have a whole meal, and even that actually, I found there was a lot of rubbish in it.
Okay.
So I stopped consuming that and I switched to sourdough bread.
So and obviously we're talking no like freezer stuff that's like that you got to deep fry, like no chicken nuggets.
No, of course, actually, that's a must. That's without it goes without saying. Okay, so say for example, in terms of shopping, actually, you have to understand, and I'll give you like a proper. When we were growing up, obviously naturally we didn't wake up and automatically started eating healthy. We had a process as well where we used to eat like everybody else, or not really, it wasn't really a healthy diet. And one of the things that my father he used to bring were fizzy drinks, and we were young, and we used to have fizzy drinks. As you know, you're young, you don't really know the ill effects when you go to school. Like everyone buys Rubicon, or everyone might buy Coke, Pepsi, and it was a regular thing. It wasn't like a once in a while thing. It was every day or after every meal you're having fizzy drinks, and we know actually the amount of sugar in fizzy drinks and how bad it is for you and how bad it is for your teeth.
Talk to me about stuff like Coke Zero and Fanta Zero. So
It's better
because they say that they have no sugar. So is it still awful?
Other sweeteners in it.
So it's not good for you at all. Still,
of course, akhi. Especially if you're having it every day. Akhi. Like I said to you, there might be times where somebody akhi, might be at an event and he might have it. It's not a problem in a sense of look.
But you can't bring that stuff into your house.
No, akhi, I don't bring that. Like say for example, like there was a time where my father he stopped bringing fizzy drinks, no more fizzy drinks, and that helped us to stop fizzy drinks. We wouldn't consume fizzy drinks at all.
No.
So again, look, see. What you bring into the house plays a very, very important role of what you consume. So he didn't bring no fizzy, so alhamdulillah, we stopped fizzy drinks.
Okay, so no fizzy drinks. We don't get fizzy drinks really anyway.
No juices,
So
like them dilutes and that stuff.
Yeah, we don't do that. So
what I'll purchase is water, like bottled water.
Okay, I drink tap water. I have no issue with tap water. I know some people, there's a debate. Some people say tap water is bad for you.
I wouldn't because a lot of people find that there's also in tap water. There's been a study where they found that there is the female hormone estrogen, a lot of high levels of estrogen in it.
But then there was a documentary that came out recently, and they did the test on tap water, and they said it's healthier than mineral water. So there's always going to be that debate. You know what I mean, bro? Yeah. I've grown up on tap water, so it's never affected me.
Yeah, I prefer bottled water or mineral water. Okay, so the first thing I would go to is the fruit and veg aisle.
Okay, fine. Yeah? I have a juicer.
Okay, cool. They can mix it up. Sometimes you juice and sometimes you actually eat the fruit, the veg, and the fruits. So, say for example, I'll do first things first. I always get spinach. Okay. I'll get salad stuff, cucumber, iceberg lettuce. I'll get tomatoes. There's actually with like the philosophy of nutrition and like I said to you, I'm not a nutritionist and put it out, but it's just I kind of love. Studying about nutrition and
no one's saying you're a nutritionist, but you live a healthy lifestyle, bro, and that's inspiring, and I've seen it. So I'm speaking to you right now, like as if the microphones are off, brother to brother. I would seek this advice from you anyway.
Of course. So like I said to you, so you go for like your cucumber, your tomatoes. Your
how are you eating those things though, bro?
Salad, bro. Salad.
So you're having a salad on the side of your meals.
Yeah, always salad. Salad always important. You should always be having salad. Always. Me personally. Unless it's not without breakfast, if it's I always try my best with my lunch and my dinner to have salad.
That's a step too far for me, bro.
It's nice. You know what is I enjoy my salads, because they taste so nice.
I don't like salad. I don't think even if you made a nice one for me.
Think?
I can make a nice kidney bean curry.
If I make you a salad, you're telling me you're not gonna eat it?
No, it's very unlikely, bro. But I can incorporate veg in the sense like. Me being Pakistani, I can make it really good, and I love a kidney bean curry.
Okay.
Yeah. And because I make it myself, I know what's going into it. It's nothing really bad. A tiny bit of oil as well, only a tiny bit though. But generally, kidney beans, onion.
Coconut oil.
Yeah, I want to find out what oil is
coconut
best.
Oil.
Okay,
you can use coconut oil. You could use. They got this. What's it called, man?
I want to learn how to make a lentil curry, and spinach curry.
Spinach.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like spinach curry. You know what curry is my favorite? What? Lentil. I love it, man. Lentil curry is nice. But look,
we call it dal.
Dal, yeah. Dal, yeah.
So I want to get some. I want to learn how to. In this week, inshallah, I'm going to try to learn how to make dal and spinach, which we call Subhanallah. What do we call spinach? We call it maybe balak.
Balak.
maybe.
Urdu, yeah?
And actually, there's this actually, there's these two. It's really weird, yeah. In our language, there's these two types of curries, and I don't know the difference between them. And I think if anyone who's listening who speaks Punjabi or Urdu is Pakistani, maybe you can help me out. But there's palak and then there's saag, and they both I think are the same thing. But anyway, spinach, yeah. I think I could make a good spinach curry. I can learn how to do that because I'm thinking dishes. Like, what dishes can we have throughout the week that will be veg dishes? So, I can make kidney beans. We can have spinach, like spinach and potato.
Vegetable soup?
Oh, I don't like soup, bro, man.
Wow, man.
You're
very fussy, yeah?
I'm a growing man. Yeah, but I'm a growing man. How am I supposed to have soup?
Soup is very good for you. Soup is very nice. Soup is nice, man.
I got 82 kilos to fill up, on soup.
82 kilos? Why, you want to put on weight?
No, I'm saying that's what I am now.
You're 82?
Yeah.
kg, yeah? Do you want to lose weight or you're happy?
Yeah, I want to get myself down to about 76. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
obviously.
For my height, I'm happy like.
Yeah, your height, mashallah, is quite good, mashallah. But just obviously, if you want to do, mashallah, I probably add my toes. You got to be in a calorie deficit.
Yeah. But
so if you're
becoming a bit vegetarian will help me. Well, but do you know what though, bro? I think the reason I say curry is because I know the connotations that come with a curry. But I'm not talking about those kind of curries. I'm not talking about the curries that you
a healthy curry, not
talking
not
about
oil,
when you go down to
oil.
Spice Village or whatever. Like
a healthy curry.
There's no
Because I think last time we spoke about curries, I was getting a bit. People were bashing me, yeah.
Oh really?
Saying
Yeah, the first time.
This is coming from a non-Asian.
Nah, but, you know what? Do you know what? To defend my culture, the curries in the house generally are a lot different to the curries that are in the shops. That's why you as a Pakistani or maybe an Indian or Bengali person, you don't really like going to the curry places because you think I can get better at my house, and it's a lot healthier because you see them, they batch make it. There's so much oil. Yeah. So when I'm talking curry, I'm talking like actually a fairly decent,
obviously
a healthy one.
Exactly, and for those people, it's very, very important. We're not saying that you don't have curries or look. If the curry is made, in a good way, and I'm sure, mashallah, there is probably curries that are made in many good ways. Yeah, before they bash me. Look, the main thing for me, that I personally find the things that are unhealthy, about your typical curry that we. And alhamdulillah, I have my in-laws are my sister's family. They're from Pakistan, and mashallah, their food is amazing. And alhamdulillah, they cook like healthy food, and they have their own little stall. What I'm saying, that I personally find about curries that could be unhealthy, not all curries that could be unhealthy, is the oil, the vegetable oil or the sunflower oil.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be using that stuff.
So you recommend coconut oil?
You have coconut oil. You have so many other.
Just like a teaspoon.
Like a teaspoon. You don't need like gallons of oil. That stuff is not good for you anyway. Do you understand? And like say for example, portion control. You can enjoy a curry. Nobody's saying that you can't, but make sure, like you said, if you're someone who don't want to put on weight, bear that in mind. You don't want to kind of overeat. If you're eating more than if your eatings are more than your outgoings, i.e. your energy expenditure, know that you will put on weight.
So dishes wise, we got those things. What about like a pasta dish in a week? Is that all right?
Yeah, you can have pasta, as long as it's, say for example, the pasta is, it's healthy. As in the pasta that is made, is healthy. Maybe you might get wholemeal pasta.
Maybe I'll try wholemeal pasta. Is that nice?
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. It's nice. There's pastas that are made from, I think, spinach, like actual pastas. Like there's different like flavored pastas, and you can get them. It depends on the brand, how healthy they are. What they put in it.
What other meals are we talking? Because obviously you're Moroccan, so you probably have tagine and stuff.
Not even, bro. I'll tell you what I have.
I was meant to get a tagine bowl for you when you went to Morocco. Remember?
I'm going soon, inshallah. Don't worry. I got you, akhi. You can do. Look, I'll give you an example. For me personally, yeah, I'll have in the morning. I'd have porridge, oats, yeah, with a little bit of nice fruits, a little bit of nice honey, Sunnah Remedies honey. Yeah, plug that in as well.
Yeah. I need some more of that.
Inshallah, we'll be stocking at the end of next month anyway, inshallah, yeah, we're stocking up. So that would be my breakfast, yeah. I like to have turmeric tea. Turmeric, it's nice. Turmeric latte.
You're too advanced with me, I'm trying to, I reckon, yeah.
Oats, can you have porridge? Can you have porridge for breakfast?
Do you know what it is, bro?
Or are you a cornflakes guy?
No, I don't like cornflakes either.
Okay, so what do you have for breakfast?
I do like porridge, but it's not heavy enough for me. I like to have a big breakfast.
So what's your, okay, give me...
What people have for dinner, I like for breakfast.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but then I have a small dinner. But I like a big, hearty breakfast to start my day.
That's a good thing along, but yeah, you can have... Okay, porridge for me is very fulfilling. Like especially if I have it with bananas or if you had it with certain nuts.
Eggs is okay, no? Egg whites.
Free range eggs, akhi.
Free range egg whites,
egg
scrambled.
whites. Yeah, you can have that. Akhi, look, me personally, like say for example, like I said, you have the oats, or I'll have like free range eggs with olive oil and olives, with mint tea. Like, and I'll have for probably for dinner, for lunch, I'll have maybe a fish, protein, salad, a bit of like rice or a little bit of quinoa. Quinoa's nice; it's got protein in it. Then for lunch, actually, I'll probably have like some light. I don't like to for dinner. I don't like to be heavy for dinner. I'll probably have maybe a salad or a soup or.
If I try going this vegetarian hype, yeah, do you think I should get should start stacking on the protein shakes again?
Nah,
Just
man.
one.
Nah,
Where am I
protein
going to get my
shake.
protein from?
So many, actually, there's so many things.
Lentils, innit?
Lentils, chickpeas, quinoa. You can get your protein from many places, actually, man. You don't have to get it from a protein shake.
Okay, so we've got those 3 curries. We've got the fish. We've got maybe the pasta.
The soup.
We've got
Soup.
yeah, akhi, man. There's a soup and the turmeric tea. Akhi. I think they're advanced levels. I'm trying to be healthy beginner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. What about
You're talking to me, huh?
There's what I'm sure you see on my Instagram when I went to Morocco. I had like a soup in the morning. Every morning I had like a fava bean soup. Did you see that?
I don't think
No,
so.
okay, that's nice. That you know what? Wallahi, I used to have that. We're talking about big hearty breakfast. Wallahi, I used to have a bowl of that, and the next time I would eat would be like dinner. But I don't know if you like. You know what? Next time maybe when you come with me to Morocco, inshallah, we can go and you can taste it. Inshallah. Rubbama. No.
Okay.
Salad, it's out of the question for you.
Salad's out of the question, but that's why I'm trying to get my veggie in through these curries and stuff.
All right, cool.
All right, and then let's say for example I got my juicer.
Yeah, you can.
So
do you like juicing?
Let's say I make a juice today.
All right, cool. That's good.
Because in my juice I can get celery, spinach, cucumber.
Awesome.
It's the stuff that I never would consume.
Okay, nice.
We're gonna have like a fish meal.
Yep, fish is nice. Fish is very good.
I got salmon. We got prawns.
A little bit of potatoes. Oven potatoes. Oven potatoes. You like?
Maybe we can have like a sweet jacket potato.
Nah, that's
sweet-
nice.
a
You like
sweet
sweet potato?
Sweet potato, jacket potato with some tuna.
Very nice.
Sprinkle a bit of cheese on.
Mm.
I like cheese a lot, man. You must have no cheese.
Actually, try to stay away from that stuff, man.
All right, bro. Do you know what? I'm feeling inspired for this shop, because my shopping list, I think I'm gonna have to change it up.
Avocados? Do you like avocados?
Mrs. likes
Nice.
avocados.
You know what you're gonna do? Listen to me on this one, yeah. Also for the viewers out there, this is like a signature. You could say back home in Morocco, this is like a must, yeah. So you have 2 bananas, yeah. Just try it, and if you don't try it, you can at me up on Insta and then let me know how you feel, yeah. Okay, Faisal, I'm gonna take you up on this, yeah. You have to follow. So just 2 bananas in your blender, yeah. It's a blender, yeah. 1 avocado, some honey, some unpasteurized honey, good, nice, sweet honey. Some oat milk, yeah. You following, yeah? Maybe a bit of almond nuts, or almond butter. Blend it, and let me know what you think.
Or like a little smoothie.
Like a smoothie. Akhi, just let me know what you think. Yeah?
Sounds like it will come out like a Snickers.
Akhi, that's not even near it.
Really?
Of course, akhi. Have that in the morning, because akhi, that will give you a lot of energy, akhi. It'll fire up your engine, mate.
What do you think about taking vitamins? You against it? Because I got
I'm not against it.
Omar got me a bunch of vitamins from Holland and Barrett.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, due to the lack of goodness I get in my diet, I get ill very regularly.
Okay.
And so he got me all these vitamins because he takes them. And he said they're very good. So he's got me vitamin C, vitamin D. So all of these vitamins, he said, look, take 1 of these tablets a day each. And at the very least, you're getting your vitamins in your body that you need because you're not getting no vitamins in.
In terms of like supplements, multivitamins, that kind of stuff, I believe that it should be the primary source where you should get your vitamins and your minerals should be from your food. However, there are certain instances where, say for example, it's very, very hard to actually for the body to absorb those kind of things or for you to get them from your food. Like you have vitamin D, especially living in the UK where, we don't get a lot of sun, especially this summer. We didn't have much as well.
You were away for this summer, akhi. We got a lot of sun this summer.
Is it?
When you was away, akhi,
No,
it was
but-
40-degree heat.
Is it?
Yeah, you was enjoying Hajj.
MashaAllah. Was it hot here,
It
yeah?
was very hot, bro.
Okay,
During that
mashallah.
period where you were away, it got
Was
very, very hot.
Okay, so MashaAllah, you did.
But you're right, it was a smaller period. It was like
Yeah,
only a
like-
few weeks,
yeah,
whereas
like
before,
2 weeks or something
yeah,
like
it
that.
wasn't like
I
3
think
months.
The year before, akhi, we had summer until October.
Yeah, we had a long summer, yeah.
They called it Indian summer, innit? Indian
Yeah,
October or something like that. So say for example, vitamin D. You need vitamin D, and vitamin D akhi, is one very, very important. So some people might take it in a supplement form, some people might take it in an injection form, akhi, because where are you gonna get vitamin D from?
So,
It is hard. Likewise, magnesium. To kind of get magnesium into the body, that's very, very difficult. So you can supplement using your magnesium supplements. There's certain things as well. It could be your L-arginine, very, very good to supplement with. So I'm not totally against it, but also again the quality of the supplements and what supplements that you are kind of taking.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not totally against it, Benz. You sneezing, yeah?
Mumkin.
Okay, go on then.
Nah,
MashaAllah, man. Your Arabic's getting there, Allah
That's
barak.
only 2 words, akhi, though.
ربما ممكن.
They both basically mean the same thing.
Same thing.
I have one thesaurus.
Your vocab, MashaAllah. Come on, man.
Slowly.
You are improving me, Allah.
Slowly, inshallah.
Yeah.
Our teachers have made us started to read more because we're not reading enough.
Okay.
So I'm trying to send him passages from Qasas an-Nabiyyin.
Qasas an-Nabiyyin, MashaAllah, very, very good.
I haven't got
Akhi,
very far.
reading is very, very important. Akhi. That's another thing I feel that it's been like with obviously like the emergence of like social media and like now you have audibles.
Yeah.
Like
you're
we don't
right,
read
you're
akhi
right.
much, you know.
I might cancel my Audible subscription, bro.
No. I need my audible. You know what? You need to recommend a few books to me on the
I've got
audibles.
some recommendations.
Please, akhi.
I will
Yeah,
have
'cause
some
I need
recommendations.
to. You know, that's not a bad thing that you listen to
Do
audible.
know
You
what
should
though,
be
bro?
reading
It's
as
not
well.
about that. It's about being able to justify the £7.99 cost akhi, a month. And
Can you cancel it? Yeah. No, is it like a contract thing where you can cancel?
you can
it?
cancel any time,
Okay,
right?
okay.
But the thing is when you, so I spreadsheet my finances. So it's
That's
not,
mashallah, that's really
it's
good,
not that alhamdulillah, that I can't afford that $7.99. But when I look at my finances, akhi, and I'm trying to become very stringent on removing items off the list that don't need to be there. And I feel like $7.99 is pricey, man, for a monthly expenditure for Audible. However, I do benefit off it a lot. And saying that, there is actually something I'm going to do, because here's a little trick, bro. You should actually do this as well.
Please.
When you go and cancel your Audible membership, go through the cancelling process, and then right on the last page, what it says, look, we really don't want you to go, so can we offer you one of the following three? Either we give you an extra credit and you just carry on, that's a bit dead, or you carry on for the next 3 months at half the price, so you're only paying £3.50 a month, or we give you like an extra like 1 free month or something like that. Yeah. So actually, I did that last time, and so for 3 months I was paying £3.50 a month. So I might do that because it is justifiable, because books normally cost like around that price, so you're getting a decent thing. But sometimes it's hard to justify, because sometimes you can go a month or so where you're so busy you're not reading a book. And if you're stringent on your, because I listened to this guy called Dave Ramsey, who's like this wealth
Expert?
this finance expert.
Yeah.
I don't normally like those kind of things, but Dave Ramsey is very good, and he's very, very stringent on
Cutting down costs.
anything. But we recently we met some people who they're non-Muslim, and I won't say who they are because because we're on a public platform. But we met some non-Muslim family who were extremely wealthy, and we had a few interactions with them, and we realized, bro, that they try and save the pennies, bro, when they're negotiating for a job to be done, for example.
Wow.
And I spoke to somebody else who had a similar interaction with them. This is very vague, innit? And they said that they had the same experience, basically. So
with
a few
them?
people had, and actually these people, bro, are multi-millionaires. But they try, but what makes them that, what keeps them that, is their discipline financially. So they wouldn't spend an extra pound where they don't need to spend an extra pound, and they're very stringent with that. They get loads of different opinions or something before they go ahead with a service and stuff like that.
Is
So
it?
I think it's a good habit to get yourself in.
Yeah.
But anyway,
There's a brother that you went
ala
to.
kulli hal.
Ala kulli hal.
the point I'm making is because I want to go back to the diet talk because I'm you're really catching me, and I'm going to explain why I'm so interested in diet talk in a second. In fact, let's go back to now because I was just talking about Audible for no reason. Did you have something else to mention on that?
Yeah, there was a
Go
brother
on.
that you went to not long ago up north.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
business
yeah,
or something.
yeah,
You went to
yeah,
see
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
who's that brother?
Okay, so that brother, he's a very, very wealthy businessman, and alhamdulillah, I'd met him a few times, and maybe about a year and a half ago, I was going through this transition where I was trying to transition over to Freshly Grounded and that kind of stuff, and he was very successful, and so he said, look, I'm down in London, do you want to go for some tea? So we ended up going for tea, and we had a chat. He said, look, if you ever want to come down to Manchester, I can show you how we do things.
What does he do?
More like me being a student for that. He has many different businesses, but he's in different fields actually.
His primary one does he have? Or?
I think he's in property as well as fashion and a few other stuff, and he has very good contacts. And so I kind of went there as a student to see his day, and he hooked me up with loads of meetings. He was very generous. He hooked me up with loads of meetings to see how different things work and stuff. And I was able to make some really good connects there and stuff. And that's the kind of what had happened. But anyway, so about a year and a half before that, I met with him, and I kind of met him through Omar. And so he said, look, if you ever want to come to Manchester, and I'm more than welcome, I'm happy to show you around, just kind of take you through my day and stuff like that. And so I never took him up on that offer. And about a year and a half later, when I was going through this thing, Freshly Grounded, I said, look, do you know what? I've got this week where my schedule is looking very, very relaxed. Yeah. So I hit him up and I said, look, I've got this time coming up where I'm not really, it was just before the event and stuff. And I have a couple of days spare here. I'd love to take you up on that offer. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but he said, look, leave the schedule to me, just come down. So I booked myself at a hotel, and it was very beneficial, bro. I was able to spend some time with him and just learn little things about how people do things on a mass scale. I was able to meet interesting people, and there was nothing, there was no clear agenda, but I made a lot of good connects, and I sought a lot of advice with Freshly Grounded as well, and important things that a person should do. I think if you have access to links like that, people who, and like you said about going to ICAP, bro, or like Dr. Riz, I think that I just kind of went with the idea of being a student and learning about different things in business from someone who's been there, done that, but also someone who's a Muslim, so they understand my challenges and
your end goals.
My end goals, but also my strains. I want to say, like, as a Muslim, there's paths you can't go down in business, alhamdulillah. And obviously we should all try and study the fiqh of business. Myself, first of all, I'm not saying that I have,
especially,
but when you're in, obviously, I think it was in Sheikh, the Usul al-Fiqh book by Sheikh Shitri. I think he mentioned that, I might be wrong here because I read the translation some time back now, but something about when you're, as a Muslim, if you're doing something, the importance of studying,
it becomes obligatory for you to learn about that field.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that because I can't recall what I read specifically, but I remember it basically saying the obligation of learning the knowledge of that field, for example, business. But anyway, my point is that he understands the stuff that as a Muslim perhaps you can't do in business, the stuff that you can do, even things in business like the idea of like selling things that you don't own, or selling the same thing at different prices. Actually, these are common business tactics that a person can do in normal
day-to-day interactions.
It's normal business, bro. Like, the way you make money is, if you're dealing with different people, you deal with them in different ways, or you deal with people with different prices. You might sell something that you don't right now necessarily have possession of, but you can pretty much guarantee. These are normal things. Actually, it's nothing technically wrong with them in our eyes, maybe, but when you realize that it's not correct in Islamic perspective, you understand the hikmah behind it, but then you also understand that there are certain challenges. Anyway, so that was that.
It was a good, mashallah, barik, man. It was nice.
Yeah. So the reason I'm so intrigued by diet, actually, is first of all, obviously, it's not every day that we are able to have someone like yourself on a podcast who is so inquisitive about diet and who implements it in his own life. And secondly, I've as I'm getting older, I'm noticing like little aches and pains, and it feels so weird to say that because I'm 25.
Yeah, still young.
Yeah, of course, and I'm aware of that. And it probably even sounds very. People might be listening to this, saying that he's being a bit of a hypochondriac. You know, he's only 25. Relax. However, you know your own body well, bro. And so when you notice, I never, like, for example,
When I was young, I never used to feel like that.
I never used to get like a migraine on the right side of my head. So what it has to be what I'm putting in my body. Something is like not being received, or something's not coming out that is affecting it, right? And I might get certain chest pain that I don't normally get. And so you pick up on these things, and they're very, very small. They're very minor. They're not anything to be alerted by necessarily. That I need to go to the doctor. Obviously, if you get severe chest pains or whatever, obviously that's vital. You must get that checked out. But
You
I'm
have to
saying
go to the A&E.
yeah. But I'm saying nothing like crazy like that. But I'm noticing a little bit. So I thought I need to be able to. One thing I know about myself is that I'm definitely not getting in the nutrients that I need to get in, regardless of the fact that I'm not having that much sugar or whatever. I'm still not getting in the nutrients that I need to get in. So that's why I was intrigued. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about diet.
No, it's important, Akhi. It's important. You are what you eat, isn't it? That's what they say. So no, Akhi, look, the main thing, bro, is you have to kind of take out the bad things. We all know, you know what's crazy? Like, we all know what's good for us, and we all know what's bad for us. And like you said earlier, it's the discipline. Yeah, this is what we find the most difficult.
It's very difficult, bro.
Yeah, and everyone knows, Akhi. It's just, look, you know how we have knowledge and implementation? We know things. It's just we need to implement them. Yeah, because everybody knows that, you know, chocolate's bad for you. Everybody knows that, you know, crisp is bad for you. Everybody knows that fried food is bad for you. Everybody knows that a donut is bad. Example, you know, it's just about taking out the bad and keeping the good. And if you want, say for example, if somebody didn't have a sweet, look, it's personally, I have a sweet tooth, so find alternatives, healthy alternatives, which are kind of like, you know, subdue that sweet tooth, or kind of fulfill that sweet tooth that you have. You know, it doesn't mean that you can't spoil yourself. It doesn't mean, once in a while you can have, you know, your little cheat meal, but generally speaking, everybody knows, like, you know, having a burger is not good for you, especially having a burger every day. Like, I know
the
people
burger thing without is weird for me, because let's say you have a grilled chicken burger.
Yeah.
You have a grilled chicken.
Yeah,
that's not that bad.
The bread, akhi,
and it's just in between two pieces of bread.
Yeah, but that 2 pieces of bread, akhi, is that even bread, bro?
But surely there's things that are worse for you than having like a grilled chicken.
Yeah,
burger.
of course, akhi. But it's just me, kind of like, look, I'll give you an example. Yeah, if me personally, if I was gonna have a quote unquote, you know, grilled chicken burger, I would have the grilled chicken, but the buns, I would make sure that they were healthy. Like, you know, like, it's not like
this. Is it the salt that's bad?
It's not the salt, actually. It's just they're empty. It's empty food. There's no nutrients in it. It's not whole meal. It's not got fiber in it. It's got nothing in it. It's not. Actually, it's just very, very, like, there's no substance to the food that you're putting in your body. It's just empty. We call it empty calories. It's not like, you know, even the bun that you're having is like a whole meal. It's proper bread. It's not even that. Do you understand? It's just empty calories. There's not even fiber in there. So I'm not saying that you can't have like I said, you know how now there's a huge movement of like this huge health movement where they're having, like, you know, like healthy drinks. But it's like, I don't know how, like, say for example, you go to it might be a vegan place.
Yeah, I don't trust them, man.
Or like, say for example, you have like date balls. Like, you know how you have like energy balls? Now they're making them of dates, like a little bit of cranberry. So there's alternatives that they're kind of introducing.
I feel like that stuff I would rather make myself.
Yeah,
although I don't make them myself. But
you should.
It's like when you go to the petrol station, you see those, you know, those healthy, like you said, the date balls.
Even that, actually, look, the
quote like maybe there's sugar in it or something.
There is, but I said, not all of them. Sorry, there are some brands, actually, where they're actually healthy. Or say, for example, like you said, if you want, you can make it at home, or you can make it, you know, by yourself. Do you understand, bro? You can make it by yourself, you don't have to. You know? So you can make it at home, akhi. Like incorporating like honey. Masha, you used to do like honey, sah?
Yeah, I used to have
like,
a lot of honey.
Yeah, organic.
You know what? My best diet was when I was doing stuff like having that honey every morning. Yeah. I was having a juice every day with my, like, that celery and all that kind of juice. And I was because the juice is not difficult, bro. Because even if it tastes bad, you just down it.
Yeah.
Even just celery juice, for example. And then I was having a lot of chicken though, because I was that was the time when I was going to the gym, so I was having a lot of chicken with either brown rice or chicken and broccoli.
And that's it for the day.
No, but I mean, like, my I wasn't putting much like rubbish in my body.
And how did you feel?
I felt amazing, man. I miss it. I miss feeling like that so much. I just felt healthy. I woke up with a spring in my step. I wasn't tired. I never got these aches and pains. And now my diet has been so bad for the last like year. And I can feel that I don't feel good. But you know what, bro? Because it's such a downhill spiral.
It's a rabbit hole, innit?
You feel like it's so hard to climb myself back up.
It's like a rabbit hole.
It's difficult. And the other thing that's tough about it is, like I said, the discipline that it takes. You can't underestimate how much discipline it takes, bro.
It's tough.
It takes, and I know Islam helps with building discipline because you have to fast, you have to do this, but actually discipline, man. I envy people who have great discipline, not in a literal sense, because obviously envy is not a good thing. But you know, someone like Ajmal, you see him and his diet. Actually, Allahumma barik, he has the most amazing discipline. Yourself, you got great discipline. So when I see people with good discipline, I think that's something that I value very highly. That I struggle with a lot, discipline, because what you're doing is you're going against everything that you want to do.
Your nafs.
Yeah, and especially when something's not haram.
Yeah.
So it's not haram for me to, for example, ask for garlic sauce in this thing.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm going against my desires. I'm even going against what technically is halal for me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do it so I can better myself. And actually, that's difficult for me to process. I'll be honest. And I think that's maybe a challenge that everybody has. But
investments and sacrifices, they're not easy, bro. But the fruits.
The fruits are, you can't
deny the fruits, but you know what is it like in every look? There is a price for every decision, and there is a you have to decide, innit? And look, it's a long term. Like for those who are listening, and you don't become disciplined, or it's a process. Like, I didn't become disciplined overnight. I do make mistakes. But it's a thing of where you're learning. Okay, you know what? Maybe this doesn't work for my body. Okay, maybe I can introduce this, or maybe this is not good for me. Maybe I can cut it out of my diet. So it's a learning process, and also as you grow, you will start subhanallah to develop that discipline. So I don't think you should be too hard on yourself, but I think have a conscious.
But you know what it is, bro. You think to yourself that I want to do my best to prolong my life, and how much would it, you see people around you pass away,
to live in good health,
to live in good health, but when I say prolong my life, I'm saying obviously we know our time is written for us, but my point is that am I doing the most I can do to ensure that I'm
killing myself?
Yeah,
no.
You know what I mean, bro? Because you can, and you want to grow and see, your family, your children, and raise them well, and if you're not benefiting yourself at all, you're not even giving yourself a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or run around with your kids at least.
Yeah, run around with your kids and
without feeling out of breath.
As you told me on the drive up that it takes droplets of water make a river.
Yeah.
And that's the case because you might eat something, and I'm talking about myself here. I might eat something here and I might eat something there. Think, you know what, there's no problem now. It's no problem now. But the little things actually, something might develop into a little skin rash because of what you're eating. It's not good, and then the rash actually doesn't get tended to, and it becomes an infection. And actually, as much as that sounds like very extreme,
dramatic,
it's dramatic. It's realistic, bro. Sometimes you do get a little itch because your diet, and that itch turns into a bigger problem, and it turns into affection, actually. And no doubt, actually, there's been people in life who have had an infection. They've had to get their finger chopped off. You know what I mean? Because it's just affected it to that point where they're not getting any blood. So the root of a lot of it, as you say, and as you've been telling me for years, is it's very important what you put into your body.
Yeah, that's the first thing, bro. A lot of people come to us, especially in the clinic, and they do suffer from a lot of health conditions, and obviously they feel like they're going to come to hijama and they're going to do hijama and it's going to fix all their problems. And we spoke about this yesterday with Dr. Riz, where cupping, dry cupping, wet cupping has its limitations. And it's important for us Muslims to realize that. And And certain things go hand in hand. So, okay, yeah, you're going to do cupping, you're going to do wet cupping, you're going to do hijama, you got injured, you just want to, have a detox, you just want to improve your blood circulation. But ultimately, how is your diet? That is the foundation. If the foundation is weak, nothing will stand. You understand? So a lot of people come in, and like I said to you, it's just really, obviously, yeah, especially, some Muslims, they might come in and say, oh yeah, it's a sunnah, and they might think it's a yani, khalas, they're going to do hijama, and tomorrow, khalas, it's going to solve all their problems. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And although I'd love it for it to be the case,
your business would be booming, akhi.
Exactly. So, but we don't sell dreams to people, and alhamdulillah, we like to be transparent and honest. Wallahi, akhi, when people come, akhi, I like, wallahi, because at the end of the day, akhi, it's not just about money, bro. It's about your reputation. It's about, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we do have a good reputation, and we have ethics that we kind of go by in life. First and foremost as Muslims, and second of all as people that are providing a service for everybody, for all types of ages, for all types of colors, for all types of races, all types of religions. Not just Muslims come to us, bro, and we're an example to everybody, especially in the position that we are in. So it's important, akhi, that we make the clients or the patients that come to us, we're honest with them, and we make them realize, okay, this is what it can help with. Like, I get some people coming to me and saying to me, or DMing me on Instagram or messaging me on my phone and saying to me, look, I've got this condition, will it help? I'm like, no, it won't help, but it will help with the inflammation and the pain that you're experiencing. It could be a slip disc. It could be a back issue. Like, there are some back issues that are muscle related that hijamas are fantastic for. But when it comes to slip disc and bulge disc, now we're walking into different waters or different territories. And we're always like, honest with the people. I do sometimes get patients that are, male protectors that have cancer. They're not on chemo, so they've picked a different path. And we have to tell them, look, hijama is not going to cure your cancer. And we have to be very, very careful. And, we know in this day and age, like, even when you have a product, you can't 100% guarantee something. Okay, 100% this is going to cure you, or 100% it's going to make you feel better. We have to be very, very careful what we kind of, tell people. And we don't want to offer people false hopes. However, what we do tell them is that your diet is everything. Everything, akhi. From, like, what you put in your food, akhi, you'd be surprised, subhanAllah, like, the effect that it has on your body, on your mind, on your mood, on your skin, on your bowel movements. Akhi, it's the human body is an amazing mechanism. And akhi, sometimes, like, I'll give you an example. Sometimes you can put, like, you might see something so insignificant, yeah, but sometimes you might put that in your body, and your body absorbs it, yeah, and your body reacts to it. But you only put, I'll give you an example, yeah. There's, like, we've dealt with clients that obviously this is not permissible if, to take it just like that, CBD oil, yeah. But this is obviously we know there's two types of strands. There's the CBD oil, which is just the cannabinoids, and then the CBD oil, which has the THC. And they take literally like the CBD one, but with the THC, which obviously is the haram substance in weed that people smoke. So they would put like a little drop. Like, this drop is like probably like something on my finger that you could see it, and they'll put it underneath their tongue, and their body will react. So their body's absorbed it, and it's gone into the bloodstream, and their body's reacted to it. So imagine the food that we put in our body. Imagine that being digested, and all those chemicals and all those nasty things going into your bloodstream, and your bloodstream delivering those quote unquote nutrients to your organs. So you are what you eat. So for me, sometimes, yeah, like, I don't know, akhi, sometimes maybe I'm a bit weird, yeah, I kind of envision, like, especially when I want to be strict. Obviously, you have your days where you let your guard down, you let your guard down. But generally speaking, it makes me feel uncomfortable knowing that after that I've eaten that food, that it's gonna be digested and it's gonna go into my body, and it's gonna go to my tissues, it's gonna go to my organs, it's gonna go to my. It could strengthen my immune system, or it could weaken my immune system. So think of it that way.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
Do you understand, akhi?
It's powerful stuff. It definitely makes you think,
just
man.
Like feed your, like, and you have to feed your body on a micro level. Like, imagine, akhi, like, look at it deeply, innit?
Look, Abdul Hakim, this is why we love having you on Freshly Grounded, because I think that when you're on Freshly Grounded, the conversation goes deeper, and it allows us to really think about our diet, think about kind of what's going into our body and our lifestyle. And that's a reminder that's constantly needed. It's not something that, you know, you get once and then you know, you're done. I think having that kind of every now and again really helps. So Jazakallah khair for joining us on the podcast today.
Pleasure, Habibi. Always, wallahi. I missed you guys, man.
Missed you too. Where can people find you, bro?
They can find us on our socials, Instagram, Sunnah_Remedies, and Facebook and Twitter.
Inshallah.
And our website, www.sunnahRemedies.co.uk.
And you're going to be joining us, inshallah, maybe before the end of the year again for another episode.
Yes,
all right?
yes, definitely. Inshallah. Yep, definitely.
And barakallahu feek, bro. Appreciate it like always. And thank you so much for giving us your presence today. And that's it. Freshly Grounded episode 126.
MashaAllah. We're going, yeah?
We're going with Abdul Hakim from Sunnah Remedies. Again, dropping some amazing knowledge on something that we should all be so conscious of, which is our health, our nutrition, and also from kind of a spiritual side as well. A bit at the beginning of the podcast, alhamdulillah.
Touched on
the Hajj. Jazakallahu khair. And with that being said, guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Freshly Grounded. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.